The Student Steward program presents a short introduction to backyard birding. Before we begin, you can find our completely free and printable Citizen Science Journal in the links. Go ahead and take that time to fill it out, and you can pause here. We'll wait for you to come back. Alright, welcome back everyone. I hope you guys try to have that Citizen Science Journal with you. The video and the journal do go hand in hand, and it'll make your video experience so much better. So what would you call a science that studies animals like this fella here, maybe some flamingos, and yes, even our common pigeons? What do you think that science and scientist is called? Did you come up with the word ornithology and the scientist called ornithologist? I bet you did. Hopefully this video will guide you to the first steps of being a citizen ornithologist. And we'll be using these 6 scientific practices in order to guide our investigation. We will start with a tried and true asking questions as our first stage. This asking questions bit is one of the most important parts of a scientific inquiry because without questions, we have nothing to inquire, we have nothing to investigate. So I want you to take this time, by pausing the video if you must, in order to think up of some questions you want to learn about birds. Anything at all, from the basic of what are birds to how do birds fly, or why are there so many of them? Go ahead and take your journal and write that down, or grab a piece of paper, even if you didn't print out the journal, and try writing questions down. Now that you've written some questions down, we're going to start by asking, what is a bird? Birds are everywhere. We've all seen birds, either flying in the sky, eating from some bird feeder that we might have left out, and even if we don't see them, we can hear them through bird song in the morning, or when you're going on a walk and it's quiet and you hear some bird calls, and they all look so different. Some of them like to be in water, some have long necks and prefer to eat fish. Some of them have really weird shaped beaks that you're like, well, what? Maybe they live in trees, maybe they like shrubs. They have so many different colors too. So I guess the question now is, what do all birds have in common? What makes them all birds? So all birds have different things in common. Some that we can see on their outsides, and some things that they have the same on the inside. So let's talk about what you can see first. All birds will have some form of beak. They might be different shapes or sizes, but they will all have a beak. Birds are also one of the 3 species to have wings, the others being bats and insects. Surrounding those wings, though, you'll find feathers, which are unique to birds. Feathers are also found pretty much everywhere else on their body. There are a lot of different types of feathers that can be found depending on their purpose, but that could be its own video, so moving on. Inside their body, you'll find that birds' bones are hollow. Compared to human bones, which are filled with marrow, bird bones are structured, kind of like a spider web, which makes them both strong enough to support their weight, but light enough that it lets them fly. Birds are also all endothermic, which means they create their own body heat without needing the outside temperature to keep them warm. People also call this being warm-blooded. Take a moment and focus on your breathing. How are you doing it? You breathe in, right? And you breathe out. That's called a bidirectional airflow because it's going in 2 directions, but birds do it a different way. Their lungs work in what's called a unidirectional airflow, which means that no matter if they're breathing in or out, their lungs are continuously processing breathable oxygen for them. The last thing that all birds have in common is that they all lay eggs. Why do you guys think that having an egg nest might be beneficial for a species like birds? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. We've talked a lot about the characteristics of birds. Even though all these characteristics might seem extremely different from each other, They are all interconnected and they all work together in order to get birds up in the air and flying. Take this time to draw and label a bird in your journal. It doesn't have to be perfect. It is just a way to help you remember all of the characteristics that make birds a unique species. How many birds do you see here? If you said 5, congratulations! Do you know how many bird species there are in the entire world? What if I said there were over 10,000 species across the entire Earth? With so many species all around us, how could we possibly start identifying all the birds that are in our parks? Well, there are 4 basic identification steps that all birders take in order to help them figure out what bird they're looking at. These include GISS, color pattern, behavior, and habitat. I'll start by explaining what GISS means. GISS stands for General Impression, Size, and Shape. In this step, there's no need to worry about what color it is or if it looks like something you've seen before. It's just about taking a general impression. GISS is important because size can give you a lot of information just from a glance. For example, if a bird is about the size of your hand, it is most likely not a goose or a raven or a quail. If you think it's bigger than, say, your typical crow, you might start looking at hawk or a goose, depending on the next steps. The next thing to look at would be their color and color patterns. Not only are their feathers brightly colored and usually in distinct patterns, but oftentimes their beaks, eyes, and even their legs can be different colors and can be used to identify different kinds of birds as well. The third step in identifying birds is watching their behavior. What are they doing? Are they using the bird feeder set out for them? Or are they pecking away at wood high up in the trees? Are they near or in a body of water? Are they just standing by the shore or are they swimming around? Distinct birds have distinct behavior. The more you watch them, the more you'll see what it is to be a bird. The last thing you should pay attention to is their habitat. Where are you when you're watching these birds? Did you go on a hike over by Lake Tahoe? Or are you just taking a short walk in your neighborhood park that's in the city? Are you in a wetland, which is a little different than a lake because there's more plant, vegetation, and shoreline? Or are you just walking down the sidewalk on your way to school? Where are you seeing these birds? Well, that's all the skills you'll need in order to start your birding experience. But before you go out into the wild, let's practice some identification here today. I'll show you a couple of pictures of birds and I'll model what these steps really mean when looking at birds. Here's our first bird in this video. What do you notice about him? So this is a California scrub jay. This scrub jay is a fairly large songbird that has a long tail and is usually found hunched over. It is very blue and gray and has a white throat and belly. In regards to behavior, this bird is very vocal. You'll definitely hear him, and he tends to be curious. He likes to be perched up in the trees and likes to watch his surroundings. You can usually find them in open areas like woodlands or fields, even in your backyard. They are pretty common around our Reno parks as well. This is our second bird. Go ahead and take a moment to just take it in. This bird is called an American robin. It is a fairly large songbird with a round body and long legs. Its head and back are a gray-brown color, while its belly is a very warm orange. While they're flying, you will be able to see a white patch below their belly. Unlike the scrub jay, these are tall standing birds that tend to be looking up. They are very commonly found in gardens and parks, anywhere with grass, especially right now in the spring season. This is our second to last bird. You've probably seen and heard these around, but go ahead and try going through the 4 steps with this bird. This bird is called the Canada goose. It is a large water bird with a long neck, large body, very big feet, and a wide, flat bill or beak. Their coloring is very distinctive. They have a black beak, head and neck, with that white cheek patch, tan body, tan breast, and a brown back. It likes to stay with a group. It uses its beak to graze on grass and dabble in the water, which means they stick their head in but not their whole body. As you might have seen, you can find these just about anywhere that you go. They do migrate down here from Canada, but we do tend to see them year-round. This will be our last bird, so I want you to try and doing this one by yourself. Take some time, think about it, and then go ahead and continue this video. Let's check to see how you did. This bird is called a mallard. It is a well-sized duck with a wide and flat beak with a round head. This one is different than the other birds that we've talked about because the male and the female are distinctly different. The male has a green iridescent head, a yellow bill, a gray body, and brown breast and black tail feathers. The female, on the other hand, has mostly a brown body with an orange and brown bill. She also has brown rear feathers. Both of these birds, however, have very pretty purple feathers on their wings. Mallards are very commonly found in bodies of water and usually graze by dabbling. Again, that's by tipping forward in the water, but not diving all the way down. If you would like to do more practice, there are 4 more birds in your scientific journal that you can use to practice observing and writing down the 4 steps to identifying birds. I hope that all this talk about birds has made you excited to get out there and do some birding. So let's say you've gone out and done your investigation. You did a bird count sheet, maybe you used pen and paper, maybe you used an eBird app. Now you have all of these numbers. And it's important to look back and understand your data. Take some time to think about what kind of information you have and come up with a cool design in order to show off all of the science that you've done and all of the birding that you've done. Sharing and reevaluating the data that we have is a crucial step to our scientific practices. There's space in your scientific journal for this process. Take some time to reflect on what you did and what you could improve, what you like, what you didn't like. Do you want to share the results of your investigation? Did you have a question that we didn't answer about birds in this video? Anything else you want to know? Please let us know. Either email us, write a comment down below, or post on our social media. We would love to hear back from you.